invites. Hello, hello. Sent you a question in messages. Okay. Hang on one second. I will look. Hang on a second. Control T. Messages. Wait, whatnot.com/messages. That's how I get to it faster. Hello, Peacock. How are you? Howdy, howdy. Hello, D-Man Comics. How are you? IBCC Shop. You sent me one on Discord. Is it about tariffs? We will be talking about tariffs. Jess Rantanen. I hope I said that right. I apologize. Dave, hello. Boz fam. Hi, Sandra. Hello, Thrifty Dragonfly. And 5 Acres, hello. And how is everyone doing? Okay. Please check my stream on YouTube. Yeah, okay. So good news. I have managed to now figure out and solve the problem of me not getting my YouTube to connect. It's now connecting, so I am live on YouTube right now. However, for people on YouTube, I'm going to be concentrating on the chat here on Whatnot because it's probably going to be busy. So I may not get to your question on YouTube. And if it's about my feet, no, I'm not going to show them. So I'll cover that right now, not showing my feet. There, covered that. Because that was the first question I got when I did my 5 minutes. That's why. Okay, so 5 Acre. Hang on. I'm gonna just scoot you guys down for a second so I can read this. Priority 1 to 5 pounds. Ground advantage for less than a pound, over 5 pounds. Can I make my shipping profile for just one item that is over 5 pounds, but it will fit in a flat rate box and set it to flat rate shipping? To be honest, 5 Acre Primitive, that's beyond my knowledge. I would suggest contacting Draz, D-R-A-Z, or and I apologize. I have to, my other phone, I wasn't paying attention to the amount of battery power that it had, and it emptied a battery power. I put it on charge, but didn't realize the charger I was using was not effective. So either D-Archivist, 5 Acre, where's the underscore on this? Oh, D-Archivist and Draz would be the 2 people that I would suggest contacting about shipping issues. Draz does a great walk along morning show just around the time that I usually end in the morning, so 11ish. So do check that out. I apologize. I know this much about US shipping, and I honestly find it, like everyone else does, it's a little bit more convoluted than ours. Ours is simple. If the only time I use a custom shipping profile for Canadian shipping is when it's something that's big or it needs to ship on its own. So either way, it's going to ship on it. I just set it up so it ships on its own. For the most part, for Canadians, you do not need to use a custom shipping profile. The shipping profiles, as long as your item isn't going to be, once it's packaged, over 20 inches, you should be fine. But remember, once it's packaged 20 inches. So if it's something precious, you have to add 6 inches to the height, the width, and the depth. So that, there's 3 inches of buffer all around for everything that you package. Shauna, hello. Shane is the name. Hello. And Final Boss, what's up? How are you? BSM Sports Cards. Hello, hello. Daisy65. Bri K DJ. That's a cute name. Michelle, I think I said hi to you, but just in case, Dave from Alberta says, took the afternoon off and napped. That's pretty good. Do you seem to feel better, Dave? I hope you feel better. Hello, how are you? Okay. I don't know if I like this lighting, but I'm just going to survive with it. I'm going to go with it. I can't see well enough because the light's very bright in my eyes. Okay. So let's start with first thing on the top of the agenda. Is the latest news that came out this afternoon that the tariffs are going ahead. Did Canadians lose the spin wheel? I don't think so. Let me look. No. I have a spin wheel. Shuffle, 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 and spin. No. You can't find, you tried to use it today? on your and you're for sure on it's only available on iPhone. One. You have to use your iPhone. Have you used it before? Have you used have you used it before? That's question number 1. And then question number 2 is, are you using an iPhone? Okay, you've used it before, you got an iPhone. So double check that your your seller tools didn't get turned off. So you want to go to I'll pull that up right now. So if you're ever in doubt, go to help.whatnot.com. That is like the place to land always. Help.whatnot.com. And then I'm going to just type in, let me just flip for a second. And give me the face cam. Thank you. All right. No. Yep, there we go. Okay. So we're going to type in live seller tools. Okay. Seller tools, live stream tools. There it is. So it's only available, the randomizer is only available on iOS right now. So what you need to do is just double check that for some reason there might have been an update and something might have gotten unenabled. So go to your account, and then you want to click on preferences and then seller tools and make sure that it's enabled. So that could be the reason. That could be a reason that you don't see it. Let me just move that out of the way for a bit. Seems to be far enough out of the way. Yeah, so see if it's that. If not, um, obviously check your messages to see if there was some sort of report or something. Like if it could have been that it got taken away from you, but I doubt it. Usually you will get a notification of that. Um, but if you still can't see it, there's always rule number 1, uninstall the app, reinstall the app. um yeah, only I can only see it if like you were like they'd be more likely to suspend your entire account if you did something wrong with the wheel, right? So I can't see that. So check for an update. Hey Stark, check for an update, an iOS update. If that doesn't fix it, then go to just uninstall, reinstall. If that doesn't work, restart the phone. And if that doesn't work, then contact support. But it might be that in one of the updates, your seller tools got unenabled, and that could be the reason. But it might not be. It could be a glitchy glitch. Okay, so if I miss a question, please feel free to ask again. Hello, everyone's coming in. So I haven't put out any show notes in because the phone that I save all my show notes on is currently at yeah, no problem. Oh, it's at 21% now. Ooh, this is good. Okay, I can turn it on now. I hope. Where's the on button? There we go. Okay. I will have my notes up soon. But top thing that's an issue, of course, is the tariffs. And so I'm just going to say this really briefly. First of all, keep calm and carry on. Sell, sell, sell. Second of all, I my biggest concern wasn't amount of tariffs, blah, 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 blah. It is how what is the de minimis exemption going to be? And the answer is, from the resources that I've found, because there's nothing on the Border Service Agency website, of course, that would make sense. But from all the sources that I found, industry rags is where I looked for those who would do importing, exporting. De minimis exemption has not been taken off. The Trump administration has admitted that they don't have enough staff, and until they raise staffing levels up at Border Service Agency to be able to deal with processing all the packages that come into the United States, they are not they are removing they're keeping the de minimis exemption. So on Sunday, it sounds like on Sunday is when he officially signed a piece of paper reinstating the tariffs that he had put in place in February and then put on hold. So therefore, and that the de minimis exemption has been removed, which means, thank you, Donnelly, which means the de minimis exemption is so that any package, if you receive a shipment outside of the United States, if you're a if you're a US buyer and you receive a package and it's under $800 US, no tariffs will be applied. So, as long as you keep your purchases under $800 every time you buy on Whatnot, y'all gonna be okay. So, if you're buying luxury from Canada, you will have to pay a tariff, and it will be 25%. Yeah, no problem for me either. So, for now, I mean, at any moment he could change his mind, right? Like he could go to the bathroom and decide that he wants to change it cuz he burped the wrong way. I don't know. Anyways, for now, keep calm, carry on unless you're in a luxury category or like coins and bullion and that sort of thing. Yeah. So, it is what it is. So, we can't do anything about him from the Canadian perspective except our response. And so our response needs to be professional, calm, and caring, because please remember that just because he got elected doesn't mean the majority of people approve of this stuff. So there are some people who approve of it. Majority don't. VSM, yeah, keep it under $800. Now, he could add on special exemptions along the way and say, "Oh, silver's this or ooh this," right? But for now, you if you're so if, from US to Canada is a different story, right? Canadian tariffs are going to be a different story, and I don't have the full details on that. If you're buying from the US up to Canada, I don't have the full details on that, but if you're selling into the US and you're a US buyer of Canadian stuff, as long as you keep it under $800 US, you'll be fine. There'll be no tariffs because the de minimis exemption remains. Huzzah for the de minimis exemption. Whoever decided that, I don't know who it was, but whoever decided that, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So also today, Rewards Club season 3 has now begun. If you have Rewards Club, hi Pac-Man girl, if you have Rewards Club as part of your selling package, you need to set up and then publish your Rewards Club. You the only I tried to publish before 12 noon Pacific Standard Time and it wouldn't let me. I set an alarm and at like 3:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 12:01 p.m. You'd already set yours up, Peacock, but did you publish? Had you published yet? Because you have to go in and publish. So, okay, good. So, oh, you'll be great, Pac-Man. You'll be great. Just do it. Just do it and don't worry. You'll be great. Good luck to you. Everyone follow Pac-Man Girl, new seller on here. And learn the best way to learn is to make mistakes. So be forgiving of yourself. Give yourself the grace to know that everybody makes mistakes. As perfect as they may seem to be, they all make mistakes. So if you make a mistake, just let it slide because you're not the first and you're not the last. You won't be the last. You're not the first and you're not the last. So don't worry. Um, so Rewards Club needs to be published. So even if you edited all the information, you still have to publish it. If you want to have like I have like nest and egg and clucker and all that kind of stuff, if you want to do that, you can do that, but it needs to be done on the app. So you need to go on to your Android phone or your iPhone. I tried it on both to test it out. It needs to be one or the other. Ooh, my phone is alive. Huzzah. And then you'll be able to do the editing. Now, I can't show it to you now because I published mine, so it won't show you the editing ability, but you go into, hang on, it's still thinking. It's still waking up. Come on, you can do it. It's like this. It's waiting. It's very pretty while it waits. You could not figure out how to see your phone on your laptop. See your phone on your laptop. You mean to see the picture of yourself on your laptop? You just go to whatnot.com on a browser and then type in your show when you're live. Let's see. Is it waking up yet? There we go. It's alive. It's alive. Hi, Melody. And hello, Timeless. How are you? Okay. So let's go. We're going to go into, so you go into your account. There's going to be tons of notifications that are going to come up because my phone was dead for a while. So everyone's just going to have to listen to the dings. Okay. And then you're in the seller hub part. You go down to rewards club and then you can select season 3. Now I can't do it anymore, but you will see an edit button. Oh, see, I can edit the branding. So if you want to edit the branding, then you can edit your levels to be new things. So mine, we had a poll this morning and I asked if I should do all cluckers or just some cluckers. So we decided not all cluckers. So I've only changed one of the levels, and that's when you get to tier 5, you become an ultimate clucker. It's kind of like an ultimate fighter, but it's an ultimate clucker. I know. It's cheesy. I'm sorry. I apologize. It was the best I could come up with. We'll think of something for the next time. So, if you want to edit and have your own images and that sort of thing, just go here. Again, you're going to go to your seller hub on your app, go to rewards club, and then you're going to click on edit branding. And then please note the image size needs to be 200 pixels by 200 pixels. So whatever software you're using for your images, 200 pixels by 200 pixels. You need 5 different images. I mean, I guess you could make it all the same image, but that's kind of boring. Um, and the and the images are going to be square, but obviously you want the main what they're going to see to fit into the circle. The good news is that when you go into the edit branding, it will show you what it's going to look like, so you can try things out and see if it works. But it, like, if you need to make an adjustment, also please note all of these images have to be copyright free. I went to Canva and I picked copyright free images and used those. I typed in copyright free chickens. Basically, that's what I put in. So, you can just search to find images that are copyright free. So, if you sell Pokemon cards, you cannot put pictures of Pokemons. You can put something that looks Pokemon ish, but it cannot be the actual Pokemon images. If you're doing sports cards, you cannot put professionally photographed images of athletes as your different levels, for example. They have to be copyright free images. So I'm selling a bit of everything, but everything is in categories. So how do I advertise that? Well, you're selling a little bit of everything, so you're probably going to be Pac-Man Girl, I assume, in like estate sales or deal hunting or um, storage unit finds or something like that. That's a general category, and then yeah, or as Melody says, you can pick the item that you have the most of. If you're looking to get the most um, the most attention, if you're going to do lower starts, not low starts, lower starts, um deal hunting, storage unit finds, estate sales get a lot of people who are looking for that kind of thing, so you might get more attention that way. But the best thing to do is experiment and see where you feel the most comfortable. Lately, I've been enjoying being in deal hunting. I've been getting a few extra people that way. But I'll move around. I'll go into estate sales for a bit, and then I might move into garage sales in the summer and do garage sale ones. I don't know. I'll move it around. It's as the wind blows. I will do what feels the most comfortable to you. Okay, make sure I'm on mute. Yes. Um, so yeah, so those are the basic things for me: tariffs and rewards club. And someone said they had a message on Discord, but I'm not going to get to that anytime soon. I have to get rid of all these. Oh my god. Okay, dear Lord, way too many. Way too. All right. So again, if you need to do your rewards club, if you haven't done it yet, if you haven't set it up, do set it up before your next show, so that and hit publish. So again, you go to your account, you make sure you're in the seller hub, you go down to rewards club, and if you're unsure about how you set up your rewards club, the cool thing is right here at the top is this little info button. You click on that and it will take you through a whole onboarding right there. So you can watch the whole onboarding before you get started. So just take notes as you go. It's a pretty cool thing that they've set up. So that's Rewards Club. All right. So feel free at any time to share your shows. If you want to just put out where you live. That's always fun. It's always fun when everyone says where they live. What if you need a break, Pac-Man girl? Like you need to go to the bathroom or something, or have a smoke. You can't smoke around the items. That's not allowed. Smoking on air is not allowed, not around the items. So the best thing to do is to ask someone to co-host, but if you need to go to the bathroom, you could run a giveaway and have something on the screen that says, "I'll be right back. I'm just going to the bathroom." And you could run a giveaway, but ideally, if you need to stop, then stop, and then you can start a new show later. So go until you feel like you need to stop. So I mean, I've done shows that have gone for like, clearly I'm a camel, because I've done shows where I can go for like 4, 5, 6 hours. So maybe I need to talk to my urologist about that. Yeah, that might be an issue. Clearly I don't. I yes, absolutely. Stay on until, oh yes, definitely don't drink. Peacock is right. Don't drink coffee or anything caffeinated just before the show. It may feel like you need it, but it will move things along down below that you don't want moved along at an inopportune time. So there you go. You don't drink coffee and you don't smoke, so you're doing good. So the best bet is always have some water handy, because so you're always hydrated. Um, and when you feel like you've had enough, then that's a good time to stop. And then don't just stop, always rate. And in fact, now I like it. Does anyone notice that if you go to like end your show, at least on the iPhone, it will say, "Wait, don't you want to raid?" So to raid, you just go to the little three dots, and you'll have a little icon like this that says raid. And when you click on that, it will um it will give you suggestions of people to raid who are live at that moment. So you can just pick anybody. So yeah, on Android or on iPhone, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. You click on the little three dots right here that you'll see when you're live, and then you click on the little raid icon. And then you can pick anybody, or you could just ask your audience. And if your audience doesn't have any suggestions, just type in a letter, like type in P for Pac-Man, and see if what other name comes up. The algorithm will try and pull somebody up for you that you might know first. And if you don't have enough people that you follow that are live at that time, it will make a suggestion for you and you can just raid into them. It's pretty easy. You don't need to prearrange it, although it is good sometimes to prearrange a raid. Oh yeah, make sure it's not the guy selling Playboys. Unless that's what you want to go into. So one of the things is when you hit rate, when you say enter, it will come up on the screen. It will show you, like, I'll show you right now. I can show you. So let's just pretend we're going to raid into Thrifty Dachshund Mom. So as you can see up above, it'll say Monday Night Paper Chase, right? So I know that that's what she's doing. So if it comes up, if you pick somebody and it says, um, make sure it is the guy selling Playboys, according to Dave. Dave's in the room. So if it says sexy hot mamas or something, and that's not your jam, then you can just hit cancel. Right here, I have cancel. So you can just go, and then you go, you know what? That's probably not my vibe. Let's find somebody else. And then you can just, again, you can literally just go, hang on, let me do it. Raid, and then type in a letter. So I'm going to type in P, and it's showing me 3 different sellers that are on right now whose names start with P. So I could pick Poke Poles. Poke Poles CA is on right now, doing $62, 151 rip till you hit. I don't know what that means, but sounds interesting. So there'd be that, right? So again, poke pulls or Playboys, Dave. No problem, Pac-Man girl. You're gonna do great. And again, if you get it wrong, it's no big deal because guess what? You can try again next time. Just remember what it is that didn't work and don't repeat it next time. Simple, easy peasy. So I'm just going to do a shameless plug. Tomorrow, my morning show is going to be a morning show morphing in. It's going to be a morning show with Q&A, my usual thing, Q&A, talking about the news, all that kind of stuff. Pokemon card pulls. It is very interesting, isn't it? Uh, and then Dave is busy searching for things right now. It's my 2-year anniversary of my very first show on Whatnot, which, by the way, was a hot freaking mess. And there's probably people in the room right now who remember that. It was a hot mess. My technology was bad. I thought I had tested it, but they couldn't hear me. And then I was having jitters. Like it was a hot mess. So I learned a lot. Oh, so then to contact Whatnot support, Pac-Man girl, for sure. Contact Whatnot support. Let me make sure I'm muted. Okay. So yeah, if you can make it tomorrow, I'm going to start off in the morning with my normal chat, and then I'm going to be doing giveaways, which you can actually look in the show and see what giveaways I have, and then I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of things at only $2 starts, including 2 micro mosaics. Again, shameless plug. I normally don't do shameless plugs, but 2 micro mosaics. This one's starting at only $2. It only has 1 bid on it right now. And then also this one is going for $2. And then I also have this, I'm going to be giving away this flag pin. Oh my God, Dave, I love you. I'm giving away the flag pin, and there's a whole bunch of other things. Plus, I have a normally $50 owl, a Blue Mountain Pottery owl that I'm starting at just $2. I'm going a little bit nuts. So a bunch of my favorite things are going to be for only $2. This gorgeous vintage fur clip. It's actually quite heavy. It's actually quite substantial. Is also going to be $2. So there's a whole bunch of stuff and some giveaways, especially the soap. The soap, it's meant to look like a cornucopia. That's what it's meant to look like. But yeah, it does have that very Nautilus shell shape to it, doesn't it? Oh, Dave won a prize. Yeah, so I hope so. Tomorrow morning, starting at noon, is when I'm going to transition it over. I'm going to go in, I'm going to edit it and change it to deal hunting. I'm just going to carry the show on. Dave, thank you so much for setting up my Feet Finder account. I appreciate that. Yes, SIN number, mother's maiden name, the whole 9 yards is what Peacock needs. If you have shows coming up, let me know about them. On Wednesday, it's $5 on the 5th, which is a raid train I do every month. There's some really great sellers who are going to be on it, including some Canadian sellers. And the 10th of every month is our raid train for Canadian sellers called True North Strong. Yes, karaoke on the 8th. Thank you, Melody. And can you tag Vintiquity for me while I'm pulling up these show notes that I keep forgetting to do? Vintiquity, and there are some spots available. If you would like to be on the karaoke raid train on the 8th, please message Vintiquity. Let's see. Did I copy it? Okay, there it is. Now I just have to edit the part about the news, the tariffs. All right. I'm not going to edit the part about the tariffs. You guys will be okay. I've said it. So tariffs are coming, but the de minimis exemption is remaining. So Tomorrow they're happening, but the de minimis exemption is staying. So therefore, anything that you sell into the United States, any shipments you send, as long as they're under $800 US, will go through without any additional tariffs. So if you're a US buyer of Canadian products, we thank you, and just keep your purchases under $800. If you're a seller and you see that one of your buyers bought a lot and it's over $800 and you're able to unbundle, help them out by unbundling. That'll be great. It starts at 1 minute past midnight tonight. So that is officially when it starts. Yes, Pac-Man girl. The United States of America has had for like the longest time the de minimis exemption, which basically means that any packages coming into the United States under $800 are not subject to tariffs, taxes, and duties. They just go through like regular. We can't have that because we can't afford that. We're not. We don't have. We can't afford that. Yeah, our end is going to be slowed down. I don't think it would be helpful, Pac-Man girl. I think it would be nice, but I think that what we need to do is start buying Canadian. So, as much as we can. Sorry, America, but we do need to learn. We do need to learn how to be an economy on our own again. It's been a long time. Yes. If it's under $40 US, we are not charged duty normally, depending on the item though. So some items may be charged duty. The new tariffs that will be rolled out by Canada in response to tomorrow's tariffs may change that on some products because there may be increased tariffs on some items. But we're going to find out more about that tomorrow. I'm more worried about the US than I am about Canada. So if you I don't buy a lot from US sellers in the States just not because I don't love their stuff, but because the price for shipping is so high. It's a minimum of like $18 even for like a tiny thing. If I bought stickers, it's like 18 bucks. Sorry. Sorry, I love you, but I'm not going to pay 18 bucks for some stickers or something. So I just do a lot of blooping. That's why when I go into US shows, I bloop. So so I'm actually going to be starting a whatnot lexicon of like the words that we use all the time, the phrases that we use all the time on whatnot. One of them is blooping, which hands up if you know what blooping is. Yeah, blooping, not booping. Melody, that was the best ever because I was like, is it blooping you mean? It was probably I was like, because if it's blooping, then no. But if it's booping on the nose, then yes, I will reciprocate with someone who boops me on the nose. Now that it's $15 for me from some Canadian sellers, 18 doesn't feel so bad. That is true, and I'm sorry about that. Have a great time. Have a great show. Just have fun, Pac-Man girl. You'll do awesome. Blooping sounds like something I would find in urban. This is true. This is true. But we call it blooping because that's the sound it makes. It goes bloop. So hopefully, we're going to get a sound for rating. I'm hoping that they're working on that. A bunch of us have made requests for a raid sound. So Travel Thrift, thank you for asking. So Travel Thrift 101 asks, what is blooping? So blooping is the phrase that we use for when someone goes into the buy it now and gifts the chat, gifts randomly to the chat. Let me see if I can do it on someone else's show. Hang on. Let's go into someone else's show. Minimize show. Jay Styles is on right now. That's the next one. Let's see if she has anything. I have to see if she has anything in her buy it now that I can do. Sort by low price. Always sort by low price. Hang on. Nope, nothing. She doesn't have bloopable things. Sorry, Jay Styles. It looks like you're doing great there. Canister. I'm trying to find somebody that I know for sure will. I think Nicole DeSalvo will. I hope so. Buy it now. Nope, nothing in Nicole's. What's up? Okay, so here's one of the things is I will please put some stuff in your chat so that that a poor woman like me can word of vintage might. Come on, word of vintage. Help me out. Help a girl out. Let's see. She has a lot of things in her show, so low to high. Here we go. Okay. Okay, that no, I can't. I'm not going to gift somebody a blouse. I do have in my bin, but I can't bloop out of my own bin. I can't bloop the chat from myself. I wish I could. Oh wait, here's a Disney person with like poop tons of people in their show. So let's see. Go to sort. Disney person should have it. Sort by low to high. Oh, there we go. Okay, so see, they even have here. Sorry. They even have here. Bloop the chat, a croc gibbets. So here we go. Let's turn up the volume. Our name okay. Easy. So, hang on. I feel like shh, for a second. Okay, buddy. Okay. Okay. So see here. Hang on. My volume is in the way. Okay. So see here. There's this little icon right here that looks like a present. You click on that. You click on that, and then you hit send by chat. And it's going to say gifting to chat. What will happen is that it will randomly. It was $17 for the sticker. What? Oh, that's cray cray. Was it trying to come to you instead of to somebody else? Okay, so hang on. I just need to. I gotta hide some info here. Send by chat. Okay, so what I did was you have the option of searching for someone's name and sending them a gift. So if you see something and somebody's buy it now and you're like, "Oh my god, Melody would love that." You could literally type in if you're friends with each other, which means you both follow each other, you can type in their name, and if they don't have, you can turn off gifting. But if you type in their name and Melody's came up, I could send her something. But I can also hit send by chat. Let me just do that again. So I can hit send by chat. Okay, so I'm going to send by chat, and that means that I'm going to randomly gift someone in the chat. There's like 100 and something odd people in the chat. Now it's going to show me, I can't show you all of this, but it shows me I can do a little message like enjoy your little gibbets or whatever, and it's going to show me how much shipping is going to be, and then it's going to say how much is my total, and I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to send it. So hang on, let me just turn up the volume. This is a pre-bid on this. Here we go. This is an Ariel official Disney Parks pin trading lanyard. Did you hear that? Oh my god, randomly gifted the Red Rooster! Everybody throw a heart in the chat for Red Rooster. Red Rooster, thank you so much for showing that love, brother. I appreciate you. Guys, we're live. Official Disney Parks Ariel pin trading. There you go. And see, not only did I just bloop some random person, some rando just got some gibbets from the chat, which didn't cost me very much, but in a room of 171 people, so that guy just screamed out my name. That didn't sound right. You know what I mean? He said my name extremely loud. You know what I mean? Anyways, that is what you can do. Mary, you came in at the wrong time. I don't know how to speak English properly without embarrassing myself. So that's bloop to chat. And did you hear that bloop? It's like bloop. It sounds like a bloop. So that's why we call it bloop to chat. So that's like a whatnot thing. We call it bloop to chat. Another thing, like we call it raids. And I know raid is a word that's used a lot. But you heard it on the tile. Awesome. Bloop. So a raid is where one seller, when they end their show, takes all the viewers from their show into another show. So if we were to do a raid right now, all of you who stayed on while I yattered on and said goodbye, but then when I raided, we would be going into someone else's show. We're not attacking. When I first heard that we were going to raid somebody, I left the show. I left before the raid happened because I thought we were doing something bad. Because to me, raid sounds like either you're killing ants, you're spraying and killing ants, or you're going to be, I don't know, like killing somebody's show. I didn't know. I thought it was something bad. So I left. I can't even remember who it was that I was watching. It could have been like Thrifting with ADHD, I think. And I was like, I'm I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm a friendly person, but it's actually a very friendly thing. It's a wonderful thing for communities. And even if it's you think it's just you in the room, when you end your show, raid anyways, because every seller should appreciate every raid, no matter how small it is, because that doesn't matter. It's about the thought of that person decided then that they could have gone anywhere and they chose to come into your show and bring their viewers into you. So even if it's two viewers, even if it's just that one person, thank them. Thank them. You don't have to say. Now, I tend to say thank you so much for rating. Everyone please follow this person. That's me. Some sellers like Green 13, if you raid them, they will say thank you for the raid. Um, the Red Rooster, you and you alone can talk about what you sell and tell us about your shows. And if ever anybody is interested in what they have to say or what they have to sell, you know what to do. So he basically says, look, I'm not going to tell you to follow this person. You make up your own mind. And only the person who just came in, the raider, is allowed to say their show. So that is the only time he allows people to advertise their shows in his show, is if you raid, and he will say it's you and you alone. So there's all kinds of different ways you can accept a raid and thank a raid. There are some people who, if they get any raid, start a giveaway. That can get very expensive if you get raided a lot. Um, I tend to do a giveaway if I have a large raid, just because there's a lot of people in the room. I want to keep them there for another 5 minutes so they get to see more about me before they decide to leave. So I will offer up something that I hope they will be interested in enough to stick around for 5 minutes and listen to me yatter on. But that's pretty much, other than special occasions and special trains, I don't do giveaways anymore because, one, they're not cheap. In Canada, we don't have plain white envelope, otherwise known as first class rate mail. So we can't send some stickers, and it only costs us like 90 cents to send the sticker. Our minimum is around anywhere from $5 to $8, depending on the location of the person that's receiving it. Could be even higher if it's going to Peacock. Could be higher. So so that's another one of the whatnot words. What other words do we have? I was trying to think of it when I was walking up the stairs, and which I was taking my time because I wasn't feeling very well. um and I was trying to think, well, like, we have blooping, because Melody made me think about, like, we have all these words that we just say. Oh, like the bin. Everyone check out the bin. We say it like everyone knows what the bin is. The bin is what we call the buy it now. So when you go into someone's show,
It's
we'll go in,
me.
we'll go into here and we'll check out the bin, right? SB. Oh yeah, SB. That's a good one. Thank you. So check out the bin. Now, I don't think she has anything in her bin. She does not. Um I highly recommend, even if you don't think you're going to get bloop the chats, have some stuff in your buy it now, because when people are bored during a show, they're likely to go and look in your store and look in your buy it now and scroll through there while you're selling something they're not interested in. That keeps them in the room, and there is the opportunity that they will bloop the chat if you have some low weight, low cost items. They'll bloop the chat with those. So keep them at like $1, $2 as the price, and like the lowest possible. So some stickers, it's like fun little things that are easy to ship in small little packages, because when you're watching something and you're bored with what they have to, I'm not really interested in that right now. You don't want them to swipe out of your show, right? Um so you want to go and look for what they have in their, you'll look in their store, and then you'll look in here, and you might decide to bloop the chat. Oh, look at that, like 10 random bloops there. That's well done. Okay, hang on. So this person has, now I think this is a US seller, they have 10 random stickers to bloop the chat, and they have it at only $1. And because it's stickers and they're probably US, it's only going to be, oh, it's free shipping because whoever, either she's paying for the shipping right now. I didn't look before I went in, or the person's already bought something. The person's who's been randomly done. So let's see. Are you ready?
2 pair of socks, Tootsie Rolls, jelly beans. Get your Easter candy early. Okay. So,
Bloop.
let's see. I need a helper. Okay, this is for brand new Star Wars random surprise.
There we go.
Adorables.
I blooped, and it cost me like $1.08. $1.08 US to bloop the chat. Now she was busy, so she didn't scream out and say the red rooster like the other guy did. Like he reacted really intensely to it, which is, I think that's a little bit more fun. If that happened in a show, I think the more people, I'm surprised more people didn't start blooping because of that. So adding some stuff in, and Dave just gave a whole bunch of them. So we call it a givey and a swipe and run and R and Y and bookmark and follow. Thank you, Dave. You're so helpful. What would we do without you? Oh yeah, I did react pretty intensely to Secret Santa, the Santa bot, but the Santa bot, you can anyway, it's in my clips. The Santa bot, I thought all day long Santa was just doing like $5, $10 items. So I thought when Santa bot did the thing, I was like, I saw that Santa bot came into my room and I said, "Hi Santa bot." And I thought, okay, they're going to bloop like $5 or $10 or something. I purposely had like smaller things. Oh, bundle, good one. And then all of a sudden, bloop, it came up and I went, "Oh, thank you, Santa." And then I looked up, and up top on my screen, I could see what it was. And as soon as I saw that it was the Tops Santa, it was actually, it's this really collectible Tops card pack of Santa cards. They're very cool. There's like an autograph one and a piece of his uniform. There's his rookie card. Like it's a pretty cool set, and it was $60 US. So I did say holy shit, because I looked up and went, oh, I couldn't help it. I went, holy beep, because that was like $60. That made my show. Definitely made my show. It was pretty awesome. The buyers also made my show. So yeah, so that's blooping. So have some stuff in your buy it now. Otherwise, we call it your bin. So we'll say check out the bin. It takes less time to say check out the bin than it does to say check out the buy it now. And hello to the folks who were in the room from Australia and Soviet Union nations saying yap yap. Thank you for saying that on YouTube. And Kim, no, I do not think that is bad at all. I am a mom who supports her kids. Okay. It was a shocker. Yes, I got YouTube working, and like I did my first test and instantly got asked to show my feet. So, which instantly made me realize why I was procrastinating on getting YouTube working. Sorry, YouTube people. But I was like, so I think so if anybody sells rubber feet and little rubber feet that I can like pull up on screen. Yeah, I have tiny hands. I have tiny hands, but I do not have tiny feet. So if anyone sells tiny feet, hook a girl up. I need some tiny feet to show on screen, and whenever somebody comes in and says that. So I can just be like, no, YouTube. There you go, YouTube. Are you happy now? And I can move on. Although I do have on the chat, there's chat settings you can do on YouTube that will like pull anything aside that seems inappropriate and show me your feet. Clearly is something that they've decided to be inappropriate. Ooh, little paws. No, that's too cute. No. I'm just gonna maybe maybe I have an old doll that I can just take the feet off of. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyways, okay, so we have bloop the chat, raid, bin, which is buy it now, which is in the store. SB means starting bid. That's another whatnot saying is SB. Someone will say, oh, yes, or HM for how much. People say HM. Oops, daisies, nearly dropped it again. Bookmark, which means to literally, it's called a bookmark, but you go and save the show. Actually, yeah, we call it save. Yeah, run. Oh, I got run here. And PTP. What the fork is PTP? Pit to pit. Okay, I got that. I figured that out. Just took me a millisecond. Um, I remember that because I was in Deals on Style show and they were pit to pit and nonstop. It was nonstop pit to pit in time. So if you see someone say in the chat SB, that means they're asking what's the starting bid. So if you're showing something and you're not running it, um, um, then they will ask you what's SB. They'll say SB or SB question mark, or they'll say HM, which means how much, with a question mark or without a question mark. And then sellers will say bookmark and follow, which means to follow me or follow the person I'm suggesting. Bundling, sometimes people will just put a B for bundles. So if a lot of sellers, if the item runs and it doesn't sell, they will allow bundling. So a person, if they run it as an auction, nobody buys it, then a person who wants it at that first starting price can say B for bundle. And if the seller is allowing bundles, then that will be set aside for that person. So if Melody said B for bundle, then I would know to set that aside for her. If two people in a show, after it runs, who didn't bid on it, then turn around and say B for bundle, two of them, then it doesn't go, it gets run again. I just run it again. I don't say, oh, it's, Melody said it first, so Lexi doesn't get it. No, if there's two or people or more, then no. No, I'm just going to run it again, and whoever wins, wins. You can fight it out that way instead of it being, if you weren't going to bid on it, I understand because you thought maybe nobody else wanted it and you could get it for $2. But if there is interest, then it's in your best interest as a seller to run it. It just makes life easier because then you also don't have to feel like someone's going to say, oh, I just couldn't type fast enough, and that kind of resentment. Some people will leave your shows if you pick them instead of somebody else, even if the other person was first, right? So it's easier to just say, you know what, there's more than one person who wants this, so I'm going to run it again and you guys can duke it out. And then always say, remember, there are no friends in an auction. You can be friends before the auction and after the auction, but during the auction, you're just bidders. Givey. Givey was one that was suggested as a thing that we say, and we don't even realize that we say it. We say Givey. There's a Givey. We'll also say Givey goblins. Sometimes you'll hear that. We'll say, oh, there's Givey goblins. There are in some shows where you have a lot of giveaways. There are people who spend all day doing, basically going on to different shows and entering giveaways. And so there are people who spend their time trying to find which shows have giveaways and then getting in on those giveaways, and they've figured out ways of scraping whatnot system to try and find the giveaways. So you will sometimes notice that when you do a giveaway, if it's a really good item that you're giving away, a high value item that you're giving away, you will get a ton of people into your room and you will get follows out of that. But those people are not organic followers. They're probably not going to stick around afterwards. In fact, I usually, if I run a giveaway and I can see my numbers jump up because it's a good thing, and suddenly there's a whole bunch of people in the room. And it used to be that when I would do a giveaway, they had like a bunch of they would tag all their friends, like, here's where you should come into here, and they'll tag all their other Givey goblin friends, and then they all come in, and then I usually just say, okay, and thank you so much, so and so won, congratulations, and bye to everybody who was just here for the giveaway. I don't care, I call them on it. I'll just say, thanks for coming in, I appreciate it, have a good day. And sometimes they stay because I'm like acknowledging that I know it. So that's giveaway. We just call it a Givey. Again, I think it's because we're trying to go through our shows so fast and sell as quickly as we possibly can in a lot of shows that we just say that. Swipe to the right, swipe to the right. That's literally when you bid on something. Like if I was to run this, I'm only going to run it for like 3 seconds. If I was to run this, it's going to show that you can swipe, right? So you swipe to the right, which I guess in your case is this way. Dave says, I like how people type essays and then still use R and Y. Those two letters, those two letters are too much. Yes. Yes. Run or yes. I was Absolute Flipping Dale's High says was in a couple of shows today and seen in chat a troll bid. Like somebody bid on this on they typed their bid as opposed to actually bidding. That used to be how you did it on YouTube. When people would do auctions on YouTube live, they would have bids on the screen, and so a lot of people who come over from YouTube to Whatnot shows will start to do that in the chat because they think that that's how Whatnot works as well, which is, it's okay. It's easy. It doesn't take much time to learn Whatnot after you learn all of our interesting language. So then there's run, which means to run the auction or start the auction. So if someone says run, if you're showing an item, someone says run or R, because run is too long to write, that means they want you to run that item. So a lot of times if you're in shows where they're not touching and running, they will, which means you pick up an item, you pick up this item and you run it, right? Let's pretend this is you would pick up the item and you would run it. The one good thing also about touch and run and running auctions on a frequent basis is that the algorithm, now I have to run it because I'm holding it. The algorithm loves shows that are doing auctions. Even if they're not getting bids, they prefer those, and that boosts you up in discoverability. So when you go to your For You page, the people you see at the top are what the algorithm thinks are the shows that you're most likely to enjoy, or the shows that are most likely to get you to buy. So they're based on your preferences, but also what they're thinking of is, are you running your shows in a way that is more likely to get bids and purchases? So the more you can run auctions, even if you aren't actually able to get any bids, touching and running is a really great way of boosting the algorithm and getting you higher up on discoverability, which will bring more people into your room. So the other one is yes. Why? People will say why instead of yes. They don't mean why are you showing me this thing? They're saying yes. We did bookmark and follow. Is there anything else that I've missed? The B for bundle. I got that one. Now there are some sellers, speaking of bundle, there are some sellers who are trying to get to, oh yes, thank you. Yes, taps and hearts. Thank you. Sudden death. Yeah, that does sound horrible, doesn't it? So when, oops, how did I end up in that show again? So sometimes, some sellers, when they're new, think that they want to get to 1,000 sales very quickly. And yes, we all would love to get to 1,000 sales very quickly, because once you get to 1,000 sales completed, then you will get instant payout, which means you don't have to wait until the item arrives and a couple of days afterwards before you get your money into your account. So it does have benefits. However, if you focus on that and focus too much on that, it makes it less enjoyable for your audience, because you're just another sale in their book. And if you say no, and I've seen sellers say no to bundling because they want to get to 1,000 sales. Now here's the thing. If, say, I was running a bunch of, we're going to use these bangles again. We used them this morning. We're going to say I was running a bunch of bangles, and these 4 bangles, Melody asked me to do a bundle. Now, I could say no and just run them at like $1 each. And then I'm paying the 8% commission plus 2.9% payment processing fee, as well as a 30 cent per item payment processing fee. So that means if I sold each one of these 4 individually, I would lose $1.20 just in the payment processing fee, the 30-cent per item part of the payment processing fee. But if I sell these as a bundle, I'm only paying 30 cents because it's one item. So I save myself 90 cents US, which in Canadian dollars today is probably like $100. So I'm saving myself 90 cents US. And that can make a huge difference over time. The more you bundle, the more you can actually save. So I don't say no to bundles, also because if I said no to bundles, there's some people who just wouldn't buy. They wouldn't buy unless they could bundle. They feel more comfortable with bundling. Melody says, and people that have let me make a bundle, I probably repurchase from them. Yeah, I mean, Melody bundles with me. I mean, you've got one bundle that's just started. You've got a little box sitting there with your one item right now. Bundling is something that, I mean, it's up to you. Again, everything I say, take what you like and leave the rest, because Whatnot can be successful for everybody in a completely different way. So how I do things is not going to be successful for Melody. What Melody does is not going to be successful for Peacock, but we can all take little bits of everything, right? So one of the things is if you don't want to do bundles, fine, don't do bundles. That's okay. You don't have to do bundles. But if you have the opportunity to bundles and are willing to, do it, because you're going to get a return customer. You're going to have a happy customer. You're going to make that sale that you might not make if you didn't. You're going to get the minimum amount. You can say, okay, it's usually what I do is if somebody does a bundle and the deal is already good, like if it's $2 each is already good, then I will say, all right, so I'll do this for $8 because it's a good deal to begin with. But if I'm like, yeah, you know what? Instead of $8, Melody, I'm going to do it for $6. Not only have I done something that's going to excite my customer because suddenly they've gotten an extra good deal, but I've gotten rid of the stuff that otherwise would have to sit around. Yes. Your bundles are different, but they're fun. Lexi says today I was years old when I knew a 30-cent process fee applies to. Yeah, so it's 2.8% commission and then 2.9% payment processing fee on the total that the buyer paid for that item, which is the item, the shipping, and the taxes. And then on top of that 2.9% is 30 cents. So it's bundling makes sense. So Michelle, bundles had to be paid out by the end of the show. It depends on the seller. I happened to, Melody wanted to start a bundle, didn't find anything else in that show. So I just said, you know what? I put the item aside for her because I know she's going to be in another show. If not, then I would leave it open again. But for them, it depends. If I don't know the person, I'm going to say, do you want this? Or I'm going to put it back into my inventory because I'm not going to hold on to it forever. But I know Melody's going to be back. She's already addicted. So, I know Melody's going to come back, but I'm certainly not doing that for like as an open thing, because you just have to be wise about that. Because also, when my inventory is in flux, I don't often have space to put bundles aside. I currently do, but it's also, oh, thank you. They're my gray with sparkles on the top. I've been all about sparkles on the top recently. It's my new thing. All right, I'm going to get out of this show. Back we go. Okay, so what else do we have? Pit to pit, which is a clothing phrase, which means, so people will put PTP. If you're selling clothes and someone says to you PTP, they're asking you to measure the distance between the armpits so that they can figure out whether or not it's going to fit them. Absolute Flipping Deal says, so if a seller has something you want and they say they have more and will put them up in their next show, You can ask them to bundle. They can say no. It's absolutely a seller's right to say no. If they've done a special, so if they're doing a special show where they're doing a special deal, you can certainly message them afterwards and see whether you can carry that special deal over, but I wouldn't necessarily put them on the spot if they were doing a special deal just for that show. Like if they were doing a raid train or special show like that. But you can always, here's the thing, if you don't ask, then you're guaranteed a no, right? So you can always ask. Just do it in a very polite way so that the and that's why I say if you're going to do something where it's a special show and it's a special deal and you know that it's a special deal, I wouldn't put them on the spot publicly by asking them to bundle you more stuff together. I would just message them on Whatnot and ask them if they would do a bundle and what kind of deal could they give you for that bundle if they have other stuff. And a lot of times if somebody does message me, I will put together a bundle for them and I will put it in my next show as a buy it now item. For sure, because it's a sale, right? It's a sale. So as long as I'm being fair to everybody. Absolute Flipping Deal says, so I was in a show that had 2 mini pops I wanted, and had more. So I asked a bundle if they would keep those till the next show. Hi, Rachel. How are you? It's always something you can ask. Always something worth asking. Hello. I think I'm going to be in town tomorrow. If you're around, we'll figure out. We got to figure out when we're going to get together. Okay. You can tell me all kinds of stuff. Bring your teacup tomorrow so I can add some rando. I do have your teacup. It's like right over here. It's got a melody. It's got a melody note in it. So I know which one it is, so I don't move it and accidentally put it somewhere else. So someone said sudden death. When someone says 10 seconds sudden death. Yeah, Lester and Loom, yes, I do local pickup. And usually it's with people who obviously it's mostly with people who live in my area. Sometimes it's people from Toronto and they organize to pick up at a later time. If so what you just need to do is if you are going to do local pickup, you have to set it up beforehand in your seller preferences to say you're going to do local pickup and turn it on. Otherwise, it won't be available. And make sure that you pick a location that's safe, especially if you're a woman or you have kids at home. Don't have someone come to your house. Okay. Pick a location, like a neutral location, a police station if you're in the States, or if you're like for me, I have listed it's the my local post office or the antique market. But to be honest, if I already know you and I'm going to be in your area, then we just meet up. And like Rachel and I end up finding each other anyways at the same thrift stores because we haunt the same thrift stores. So I should probably just drive around with it every time I go out thrifting and hand it to you when I see you. Rachel says the guy was driving all over today while streaming, wasn't even talking. Then he went to a restaurant and we watched him eat. Really? That was a Whatnot show? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay. That's report. I was earlier, that's so weird. Earlier I was it last week? I was in a show and the guy was driving to work while he had a community chat. And he didn't there weren't many people in the room. And I could see that he was definitely moving, like and he kept looking, like driving like this, looking over. It wasn't like he was like eyes to the road and then kind of like one, like out of your periphery. No, it was like he was really, and he didn't get shut down. Wow. I'd be reporting that. So I went on and I said, hey, driving and streaming at the same time is against terms of service. Please pull over and be safe. And he immediately went bloop and ended the show. So at least he ended the show. But yeah, I was he's a delivery driver for a famous company, world famous company that does deliveries. And so he was saying on air, he was bragging about how he can drive and do a whole bunch of things at the same time. So it was no big deal that he was chatting and driving at the same time and reading the chat. So then I just told him it's against terms of service, though, buddy. B. Goodale, 1980, who must be a U.S. seller, asks, why do some of my shipping labels come out ground and some priority? Because it depends on their weight. So if they are under a certain weight, they go one way. And if they are between 1 to 5 pounds, they go priority. And if they're over 5 pounds, they go ground again. So it's your weight. Okay. Yeah, we'll do. Have a great one, Rachel. Love you. So yeah, that is the reason. So it's all based on the weight of the box. So for priority and ground advantage, the good news is that you can with a priority label, you can use any box except for a priority flat rate box. With ground advantage, you can only use your own boxes. You cannot use priority or priority flat rate boxes in the US. And I am just, again, eternally grateful to be a Canadian and not have to go through all the stuff that you need to learn in order to do US shipping, because it's way more complicated. Ours is pretty simple. We got our own boxes. We get our own boxes. We put the stuff in. We weigh it. We measure it. We enter that details in, and Whatnot spits us out a label. So sudden death is one of the other things that is said on Whatnot. It's another like Whatnot term. And that means that, let me see if I can turn it on right now. Yeah. So please don't bid on this because it's, over $2,000. So sudden death is where instead of if someone bid in a regular auction, the time would increase. In a sudden death auction, the time, if another bid happens, the time doesn't increase. So you have to get you have to put in your max bid before the time runs out. So you'll see that there's let me just do that again so you can see. If you look down, you'll see that it has custom. If you are in a sudden death show, click on custom and then type in what your maximum bid is. Make sure you don't put too many zeros and then hit enter, and then it will bid up to that amount for you. It won't bid straight to that amount. It will keep bidding until it gets to that maximum amount. So you can put it in and know that you will only get outbid. You will only pay what someone else, one number above what someone else was willing to pay. And make sure the button is turned on. Yes. So with sudden, oh my gosh, Lucid Aurora, welcome in. Thank you so much. Everyone, please follow Lucid Aurora, rating with a party of 6. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome in. We're talking about Whatnot lexicon, words that are used in Whatnot lexicon. So thank you so much, Lucid Aurora, for the raid. Awesome to have you. Thank you so much. Feel free to share your shows, y'all, and put in your emojis, say where you're from, all that fun stuff. So when someone says tap those hearts or tap the screen, you can try it now. If you just hit on the screen, it's going to make hearts happen there. Woo, there we go. So the more people tap, the more the hearts will go nuts. If you're on an Android device, it really goes crazy. If you're on an iPhone, it's not as exciting. It's not as dramatic as it is on an Android. If you're on an Android, tap those hearts looks way cool. On an iPhone, it's just hearts, even if 20 people. But on Android, if a whole bunch of people tap the hearts at once, it actually slightly glitches the screen for a second, and then there's an explosion of hearts. So if you're on an iPhone and you've never seen that, it is very cool and fun. Let me see if I can, let's see. Okay, let's try and see if we can show it. I'll go into my show. All right, everybody tap hearts like crazy. Let's see if we can glitch it. Glitch, let's see. Tap like crazy. Let's see if it happens. Tappy, tap, tap, tap. No, it's just boring right now. It's proving me wrong, but I'm sure sellers, oh, there we go. There's tons. There's tons starting to happen. But I'm sure sellers have seen that where all of a sudden the screen kind of like glitches on you because a whole bunch of people all of a sudden tapped hearts at the same time. It's quite fun. Hi, King Tilly. How are you? So that is tap hearts. Now, Whatnot has not given us the ingredients to the recipe that is the algorithm that boosts your discoverability, how people find you, or how up the ladder you are for being found by Whatnot. And if you go to help.whatnot.com, you can type in discover or discoverability, and you will find out more information about it. But they don't give you the details. So, some schools of thought say that tapping the hearts does absolutely nothing. Other schools of thought think that yes, heart taps do actually help. So, I'm of the school of thought that even if it doesn't help the algorithm, it helps the seller. Sometimes when you're in a room and you're not sure what to say, but you're trying to show your appreciation to the seller, and you know when the chat gets really super quiet and like it's crickets and nothing's happening, and like there's nothing going on in the screen for a long time, I sometimes, if I'm not able to type because I'm doing something else, I will sit there and tap the screen for a while just to like show, you know what, person, here's some hearts to know, so that you know you're not actually alone. Some people are paying attention, we're just not chatty. Always remember that in a room, we got 27 people in the room, there's not a super amount of chatter going on, right? 80 to 90% of the people who come into your room will probably never say a single word. In fact, now that there's the where you can go incognito and go into rooms without it saying like Mimics 55 has entered the room, you're going to see that a lot more people are just going to stay quiet because they're not even getting noticed. I don't know if it shows, I don't know if it, let's look. Let's look. I am unclear about that. That's a good question. Can you see it on the app? Let's look. Shows, make sure I'm muted because there's nothing worse than that sound. Hang on. My shows, open show. Let's see. Does it show hearts? I tap heart. Mary Lax says, I tap hearts in sellers shows with a low count room. If I don't see anything to buy, hoping it might get more visitors. Didn't know if it worked. Yeah, I mean, and Heart Center Soul says, I love incognito mode. I just activated a few days ago. Yeah, it is fun, isn't it? Okay, let's see. All right, tap some hearts. We've got hearts. I can see hearts on my phone. I cannot see hearts on the laptop. So on the laptop, you can't see it. There we go. Nope, not a zero zip. I can still see it on my phone though. It's still going crazy on my phone. Oop. There's still hearts on the phone, but there's no hearts. There's no hearts. Now we know. Now we know. Knowing's half the battle, right? There we go. How do you activate incognito mode? So what you need to do is minimize show. You go into, come on, go back. You go to your account, and I believe it's under settings. Yes. So you go to your account in the app, and then you go to settings right here. And then if you scroll along, you will see there is, where is it? It's the only thing I have turned off. It says enable, wait, nope, not sync contacts. The other one I have turned off. Enable private entry. There it is. Enable private entry. So join, if you turn this on, it says turn this on to join shows without being announced in the chat. You'll still be able to bid, buy, and chat as usual. So it just doesn't put Heart Centered Soul has joined it, but when Heart Centered Soul says something, I can see it. Yeah, I think that's the case. Heart Centered Soul. There'll be people who are using their laptop browser as a device and not their phone to talk, and they won't be able to see those hearts that are being given to them. Babe Bella, hello, darling. How are you? Okay, scrolling back up. Does that count the person and the number of the people in your chat? The number of like that number above right here? Yes, it counts me as well as whoever else is in the room, if that's what you meant. When you check friends in show, their real name appears. Really? Really? That's new. That's new, Michelle. Really? Oh, let's look. See if there's any friends in this show. I have no friends in this. Oh, there we go. One friend watching Philly Flipper. All right. Let's see. It doesn't show me. That's interesting. If you check friends and show, their real name appears. It doesn't show me that. I wonder why. Turtle Oven is in. Getting rid of Philly Flipper. He talks about the 51st state just to bug me, so because it works. Seller can't see your name when over 50 people. The seller can't see your name if you come in, if there's over 50 people in the room. They just can't scroll that far down, basically, Heart Centered Soul, but you can still look and see all the people that it will show you, people in the room. 50 viewers, they stop announcing on iPhone. On iPhone, okay. It shows real name when you do too, like whatever someone's chosen as their name. That's interesting. I wonder, it must be an iPhone thing. It must be an iPhone thing, which I can't look at now. If for me, it just shows, it doesn't, for me as the seller, it does not show your first name. I have both an Android and an iPhone. So now I talk to you most of the time when I'm doing shows, I talk off of the iPhone. And then I use my Android to show you things. Arlene High asks, do you know why they remove past shows? You miss it. So one of the reasons that they remove past shows is because they weren't being viewed. So they're trying to concentrate on features that are being used. And so it wasn't being used. They have changed slightly from what they did before. So like 2 Saturdays ago, they took away past shows. If you get the latest update, you'll be able to still see the past show if you've bought in that show. So if you buy in a seller's show, you will be able to see the past show. So my video quality is amazing. I'm on an iPhone, so I'm very surprised. I do for my jewelry shows. I prefer to go onto my Android device because the quality and the ability to very quickly zoom in and focus on the items is way better. So I try to remember not to do jewelry shows on my iPhone because the cameras, dear iPhone, your cameras are not the best. Which I was surprised because I thought that was the whole point of an iPhone, but clearly it wasn't. This was my impression as a long-term Android user. I thought that was the case. Bay Bella says, I bought an iPhone just for Whatnot. Yeah, I got this iPhone for Christmas just so I had another couple of smaller ones, but they were way too small to actually push any of the buttons on Whatnot, so I switched to this. Heart Center Soul says, that's so weird about past shows because I had over 50 views after my first show ended. I was surprised. Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people will go back and were going back and watching shows, but just not enough in all the categories for them to keep it. Oh, you watched my past show today on Twitch? Yay, Arlene. Well, as of now, I am officially also now on, and I should go back over here and look, see if anybody said anything. Nobody said anything. I'm also now on YouTube. I managed to get set up on YouTube. I now have over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm also on YouTube at the same time. So I'm on Twitch and YouTube as well as on Whatnot. Oh, Clips on YouTube. Thanks, Clips says blooping can mean to hit a ball softly in baseball to make a high pitched sound or to ruin something in baseball. That's so cool. Um, so I Spy Vintage past shows are only available if you were a buyer in somebody's stream and they're in. If you go to the seller's profile, then any of your past shows that you can watch will be there. Under past shows. You can also, if you've made a purchase, you can go to your activity part of your app, then go to purchases, click on the purchase, scroll down to video receipt, and you'll be able to watch the whole thing. Yeah, so I really didn't want to be on YouTube. Sorry, and thank you to the people who are on YouTube watching right now. I love you. But I didn't really want to be on YouTube, but this forced me to. So thank you, Whatnot, for forcing me to be on YouTube. She says with great enthusiasm, because now it's just some other thing I have to manage, right? In my day. And yeah. So but it's something I should have done a long time ago. So it was about time. Okay, if I missed any questions, I apologize. I'm going to go back. If you do have a question, oh, thank you, TLC. If you do have a question, just put it in, put a question mark so it'll show up as yellow. And I'm also just going to scroll now. Oh, so Lester and Loom has said, if someone comes in incognito, does it count for the number of people in your chat? Yes, it will count for the number of people in your chat, even if they're in incognito mode. You just, and if you won't be able to see, they won't announce that they're there. Okay, we're caught up. Woohoo! We're caught up. Okay, so any other questions? Again, if you came in, if you didn't come in at the beginning, I did talk briefly about tariffs. The key thing is keep calm and carry on. The tariffs that have been announced for Canadian sellers selling into the US, the de minimis exemption is remaining. Therefore, any packages you send to the US that are $800 or less, $800 US or less in value, will not be stopped, and no extra tariffs are going to be added to that package for your buyers. So for most of us who sell, we don't need to worry. It'll be fine. Now, the other way around, if you're a US seller selling into Canada, we are going to be doing reciprocal tariffs, and your buyers will receive additional taxes and duties. That will be on your buyer to pay, not on you. So yeah, Retrosity, you came in. I saw you come in, and I'm like, I better repeat it just in case, because that's probably what you came for. So for us as Canadian sellers, it's a-okay. For Canadian buyers buying out of Canada, buying from the US, it will be more money. So I mean, the shipping's already expensive, so you might as well look for some Canadian shows. There are so many new, yeah, still come out, hang out with your friends in the US, bloop the chat, support them that way, tap hearts, share the show, bookmark their items, bookmark their shows, and bookmark the items that they have. That's where you can hit the little bell to save basically will give you an alert if that item goes up for sale. For example, in my show, um, you don't like knowing who's watching. I don't think I mean, there's going to be a lot of creepers no matter what. You just don't know their names. Oh, look at that, Angie. You're just over $900 in sales. Does that mean if I sell? Yes. If you sell $100 more worth of items, you'll be able to do rewards club. Yeah, I love buying from my American friends too. But I have slowed since the price of the shipping went up, and they just know. They know. Um, Oh, yes, that's a good idea, Captain Hook says. US sellers consider doing a coupon for Canadians like we used to do for Americans. You can just call it Canada. Now, everyone could use it. So, US, if you announce a coupon code, everyone can use it, right? But if you say it's for Canadians, we'll all appreciate it. You could always send it in a private message to your Canadian buyers. If you know who are your regular Canadian buyers, you can send them a little message and say, here's $5 off of your next purchase of $10 or more, or $15 or more, or whatever you want to do. Yes. TLC asks, does Chit Chats with Whatnot do the same thing as it does with the personal account with Chit Chats? Chit Chats will not send more than $800 a day for one person into the US because they don't want any of their packages pulled. So what Chit Chats will do is if you have multiple shipments coming from Canada from the same, like, all from Ontario, and they're all over $800, um they will send one shipment one day and the next shipment they actually do figure it out and like make sure that they're going to be careful about not sending too much at the same time. So I mean, for most of us that's not going to be an issue. um no, Baybella, yes, feel free to share your shows in my seller chats. You are always free to share your shows, tell us about raid trains you're on, whatever you want to do. um, it's perfectly fine. Ask your questions, interrupt me. I may miss your question. Feel free to ask it again. But yes, you are always welcome to tell us about your shows. Tell us about where you are in the world. The other day we had someone from Ireland in, which was exciting. Um, I'm really excited about how Whatnot is growing. So feel free. Okay, so I'm gonna look for someone to raid into. Um, in fact, I think we'll go into Pac-Man Girl. It's their very first show. Bay Bella says, I have a huge collection of craft beads. I'm running tomorrow at 3 p.m. I assume Central Standard Time. Sweet. So everybody bookmark that. Bay Bella. And TLC 59 is having a show on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is awesome. And TLC is doing that little thing where you start a little bit later than on the dot of 2 or 2:33. If you start a little bit later, what happens is that if you've probably noticed that you get a lot of notifications on Whatnot, and you're probably getting sick of the app notifications you get on Whatnot. So you can adjust your app notifications, but what if you're a seller and you want to get attention from people at 2 o'clock, a whole bunch of shows are going to start and a whole bunch of notifications are going to go out. And what most people do is they just go bloop and they swipe it away, right? They just clear those notifications. But if you start at 2:07 instead, a few minutes later, more than likely you're going to be the only person that's being that person's getting notified. So they're actually going to read your notification and they're more likely to bloop into your show. Yeah, so TLC said I see a lot like 15, 30, and 45, so you go oddball. Yeah, I go at like the 5, but I usually don't start exactly at that time. I'm usually slightly off anyways cuz, I run late or I realize I have to go to the bathroom again for the 200,000th time that day. Um, so yeah, try odd. You might find that you get a few more people into your room. You can go a little bit earlier than 2 o'clock, so go at like 1:53 instead of at 2 o'clock. Um, Mary Lack is running a fabric show Thursday at 8 p.m. I assume Central. Um, Oh, we love you, Heart Centered Soul. Thank you so much. Um, AM. So Mary Lack is on at 8 a.m. Central Time on Thursday doing a fabric show. Don't forget, $5 on the fifth raid train is on the 5th. Go figure of the month. So my morning show will raid into the start of that raid train. We have True North Strong raid train on the 10th of every month. So that's going to be very exciting. Hidden Drawer, hello, how are you? Um, Ooh, Babe Ella says if there's any VHS sellers, I have a ton and can sell in bulk to you. Danny's Corner, great question, says how do we join raid trains? So if you would like to join raid trains, um, oh hi, Heart Centered Soul on YouTube as well. If you'd like to join raid trains, the best thing to do is to go into community chats and say you're interested in raid trains. For my raid trains, message me and I will send you the links. The other thing you can do is go on to go to your app, hit the little search button, and then at the top on the search bar, type in raid train and see what stuff comes up. because you'll be amazed at the different types of trains there are. And then you can sort by your category and look for the ones that are in your category. And then you can contact the people. Usually, now I don't do it on my Raid Train thumbnails, but a lot of um, train conductors, people who are running trains, what they'll do is they will put their name, like, like Sin Cakes will put her name on her thumbnail. So that's the person running the Raid Train. So you can contact Sin Cakes and say, do you have any more Raid Trains that are coming up? Also, if you go to Afternoon Antique Co, which is the website of Afternoon Antique Co on here, Kylie, Afternoon Antique Co, has started a Raid Train page so that you can find Raid Trains as well. It used to be that OMGYG had on her website had them, but she's retiring from the Raid Train gig. She did really great, did amazing, but she decided that it was enough for her. So, Retro City Collectible says Thursday, Doll Show, 7:30 p.m. Awesome stuff, by the way, everybody. Friday, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtle Power, restock, 7:30 p.m. And Doll Show, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Is that all Eastern Standard Time, I'm assuming? TLC says, if I put a picture up for my show, but now I want a video, can I delete the picture one? So TLC, no, what you do is you do a video, you put up your picture and then put a video on the other one, and what will as your second one. So keep your picture one and then put a video as the second one. So when people are scrolling through, they will see your moving one every other, right? In that live tiles section, they'll see the moving one. So leave your picture up, put the video as your video. There's a second section for you just have to go into the show, edit it, and add the video. Which I just did for my birthday show. I realized I didn't have anything that was moving, so I added that. Angie's This and That says, hope to do a show Wednesday, but might bump to Thursday, so not running with the Raid Train. Run with the Raid Train. It's do you cannot avoid everything, and so just do it, and remember the Raid Train is like international, so it's not the Canadians or might be in and out. There'll be a few Canadians. I think there's 3 or 4 Canadians who are on this $5 on the 5th Raid Train, which is awesome. Mary Lack has some VHS sellers for Baybella. That's awesome. Yeah, and Heart Center Soul says there's tons of Raid Trains. Every organizer has their own rules. Mine is pretty chill. Most of it is be a nice person, is kind of like the first and second and third rule. And yeah. Danny's Corner is having a show tonight. If you could all make it, that's awesome. Danny's Corner, everyone check it out. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Everyday Girl Vintage clothing sale coming up. Please bookmark. Lots of great pieces for closet clear up prices in Canada. Awesome. Okay, who were we? We're going to go into Pac-Man. We're going to go into a new seller and give them some love. This is their very first show. They were very nervous to do the show. So please show them a lot of love. They've been coming in here trying to learn as much as they can over the last few days. And so let's go raid and show some love. Put whatever emoji you want. If you're Canadian, let's put up some Canada flags. If you're not Canadian, you can put up American flags. We love everyone. Canadians do love everyone. Honest. When we boo your national anthem, I apologize. They're booing your president, not the country. Okay. I love you guys. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow morning for my 2nd anniversary on Whatnot. Okay. Love you guys. See you then. Bye for now.